Hello, hello, hello. It is 5 o'clock on the dot. And my name's Lily. Hello, welcome to Lily's News, you guys. Okay, hi, how are you? I'm Lily. It's 5 o'clock, and this is Insane Games TV. And so it's Lily's news time. Hi, everyone. So let me see here. I'm seeing some chat stuff. Hi, Crystalline. How are you? Hi, Tom Star. How are you? I miss you guys so much over at my Lily's Lottery channel. I don't know if you guys saw my community post the other day. But my home is under construction, so I am not there, and I can't be there until they are done. It is unlivable as of right now, just due to the construction that's happening. There was a lot that needed to be done, and it was terrible timing. So once that is done, I will be back over on my Lily's Lottery channel. I miss you guys so much. But it's so great to see some of you over here hanging out with me on Lily's News, just because I don't do this from my house, and I can't do anything. I can't even like walk into that place without having a sneezing fit. My entire home is covered in about a quarter inch of dust as of right now. And I'm kind of concerned about my camera. I didn't think it was going to get damaged, but it is. So anywho, that's enough about that. I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are ready for the Christmas holiday. If you celebrate, it's coming up fast. I will not be here next Friday, the Friday right before Christmas, because I will be at work. I work in a specialty gifts area of the world, so these holidays are really busy for us. We do really long days. So I will not be there, but I will be here the Friday before New Year's. So that will be exciting. Tom says, I missed your community post. I was wondering why you haven't been live on your channel. Yes, that is why I have an apartment that I cannot be in right now. Hi, Deborah. How are you? We were just kind of catching up on the status of my home. It's not well. It's not good. It's moving in a fantastic direction. The amount of work that they put in is wonderful, and I am really excited to see the finished results. But as of right now, I just go in and feed my cat in the morning and at night and give him a little bit of love with like a dust mask on. Thank God my cat exists outside most of the time, and the weather's been pretty good, so I don't have to worry about him too much. So let's get into the news, and like I said, I will be back with Lily's Lottery once I'm able to clear my home of the construction and the dust. I miss you guys. Ala, hello, hello, or is it Ayla, Ayla? Let me know how you'd like that to be pronounced. You are such a queen. The decor is linked. Thank you so much. It's like my little Pusheen shrine. Happy holidays. Thank you for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And let's get into the news of the week that has been stuck in my brain. And we're going to talk about it. So I don't even know where to start. I think we should just start with Matt Rife because I just feel like we probably should start with Matt Rife because we've talked about Matt Rife for a while, a couple times now. So I think we should do that right now. So Matt Rife has been in the news for a few things. And so let's do a little recap. Matt Rife, a comedian who had a Netflix special, and like he was very much started his Netflix special with a joke about domestic violence. Ew, gross, lame. I made it very clear that I didn't think the joke itself was cancel worthy. I think the telling of the joke, the physicality of the joke. Also, your glasses are giving that tiny woman from Despicable Me. Love it. Oh, I love that. Yay. Edna, is that Edna with my little curl bob? So Matt Rife did that domestic violence joke, and I was very clear on like my opinions of it. It wasn't a cancelable offense. It wasn't in good taste, and it wasn't a good joke. It just wasn't a good joke. And then he got kind of canceled for a lot of other things. He was going on podcasts. He did Jordan Peterson. He made it very clear that he didn't want his women fans. He doesn't like women. He does clearly. I think it's very clear. He doesn't like women. He may love them in a sense of like getting some sort of like sexual gratification from women, but he don't like women. He don't like you. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't trust you. He doesn't want you to trust him by all of his actions. And we're going to talk about a little more of those. Jeff gonna sub. Thank you. That's so sweet. I appreciate it. And so we talked about that. Now let's talk about something that happened that made my blood churn. Okay? Churn. So Matt Rife responded to a video. Now, the video was a stitch video from Netflix's post about Matt Rife. Like, Matt Rife was saying a joke in his special, and it was about women getting rings from men, and it's like, you have a better chance at Jupiter or something like that. It was a dumb joke, it was a bad joke, lame joke, lazy joke, and it stitched to this creator. She's very big, a very big creator. Her 6-year-old, he was like, I think Saturn would be a better planet to say because it has, very visible rings. As 6-year-old loves space, knows about space. Hi Demi, it's so good to see you. I hope you guys are well. And so the 6-year-old loves space. Like when you were like a little kid and you had like that one thing or like those two things, and someone, if they said something, you're like, oh my God, let me tell you literally everything that I know. Cause I love telling everyone what I know about this thing that I love. And so he did this and he finishes it. And also, you're mean to girls. That was the video. That was the stitch. And so Matt Rife responded with a really disgusting response, and I'm gonna pull it up. I gotta pull it up for you guys so you can see it. I'll read it out to you. Just give me one hair of a second to get it up here before I show you my screen. Okay. No, shush. Not you guys, my computer. Okay, so this is the video response of Bunny. So she's the mom of the 6-year-old, and who made the little video, like I think you should have said Saturn because Saturn has more rings type of thing. So this is a TikTok or Instagram video, whatever, reel, it's all the same. of Bunny responding to Matt Rife's comment that he left on this video of this 6-year-old. He responded with, "Jupiter also has rings. Oh, and Santa Claus isn't real. Your mom buys your presents with the money she makes on OnlyFans. Good luck." Gag me with a freaking spoon because I want to reach out and smack that man. So this is Bunny's response, and I think we should listen to it and we can do a little chit chat. Coming from a mom of a 6-year-old who owned the ever-living crap out of Matt Rife, and Matt Rife responding and literally starting beef. Okay, let's get in. Before we go on, can we all just admire and respect her closet that she's in? Can we just take one hair of a second to just respect that? If you just glance at what is behind her and as she moves around, mad respect. Good. I can't say anything. There's nothing bad that I can say. So this is the mom of that child. So let's continue. Roasted. And I think that's a really fantastic viewpoint on Matt Rife and his female audience, is that it was garnered for his look and his like sex appeal. And I say in air quotes sex appeal because that is such an arbitrary viewpoint. You know, it's very much the like stereotypical socially approved sex appeal that I don't subscribe to, and I've never really enjoyed. You'll never hear me say my entire life I think Brad Pitt is gorgeous or was gorgeous. Like, I just don't find that type attractive, coming from someone who is unconventionally, in my opinion, fantastically gorgeous. And so I think sort of Matt Rife going on about his career, being able to, and I don't want to say brainwash, but almost brainwash women to believe that he's like this god and he's got abs and his chiseled jawline that may or may not be real, and in my opinion is not real. Like I said, in my opinion, allegedly is not real. So I think like that energy, putting so much work into your looks and approving along the way, gaining such a heavy female audience, and then automatically having the switch of, I don't want girls, I don't want that, I want the men, that's too much. That's mentally something's happening. Like, so I feel like something has happened in like his brain chemistry to be okay with it for so long and then immediately being so open about not wanting that. It's very strange. When she says that she fiercely protects her family online, it is very true. It's a very rare moment for anyone to see her son. And I think she took this moment to share her son and, you know, other bits of her life other than just her and what she typically does online. And share it with, you know, going up against Matt Rife's joke that was posted on like Netflix's account. It was because I think he was actually passionate about it. He probably heard the joke maybe being played on mom, dad, and uncle's phone and was like, why would you say that? So it's not an everyday occurrence for her to post videos of, oh my gosh, what is happening? It's not an everyday occurrence of her to post videos of her child. So I just want to make that clear that, you know. Come on. Okay, so here is, no. Okay. Brilliant. For Matt Rife, okay, so you saw the stitch. Matt Rife responding in that way is devastating, not just to a child, but also renewing the fact that he doesn't want women to watch him anymore. He doesn't want women to be in his audience, to watch his videos, to say anything other than, oh my God, I love you. He referred to her buying Christmas presents because of OnlyFans. She is not on OnlyFans. She does not do OnlyFans. She does not show her body in some over-sexualized way to make money on the internet. She does a lot of other things. She does not do OnlyFans. And she makes it very clear that those who do OnlyFans, good. If you want to be on OnlyFans and do whatever you want with your body in a safe space that you control, that has your own boundaries, do it. Like, we support that. I support that. She clearly supports that. But that's just not how she makes her money. And for Matt Rife, a grown-ass man, like, we give no leeway here about, like, oh, he's so young. No, he is a grown-ass man to be so hateful against women, to only want women for, quite possibly in what we have seen coming up after this, for sex, and then attempting to degrade a woman for doing any sort of sexual anything online is absolutely mind-boggling. You cannot have it both ways. Like, the pants don't drop just for you, period. Like, you are not a god. You are not the end-all, be-all, everything. You are not the best comedian. You are not the funniest person. You will never be. So stop it. You're not that good. This is my real opinion, because after this, Tana Mojo and Brooke, I think her name is Schofield. That might not be the proper name, but they have a podcast called Canceled. And on their latest podcast, it came out. They had Matt Rife on before he was canceled. And then they had an episode where they were basically Matt Rife apologists that, it's just jokes. It's just jokes. And then the next episode, Crystalline says if it wasn't for women, he wouldn't be here. Exactly. So that's why, Crystalline, that's why I think that there is something like quite possibly happening, like some chemical imbalance that is causing this like instant reaction of like hate and disgust towards women, because it doesn't make sense. You built your past 15 years of a career based on women. You changed your body, you changed your look, to engage more with women. And now you don't like it. Now you don't want it. Now you say, get away, women. Ew, I'm confused. But not confused to the point where I need to know why. I'm just confused to the point where, okay, moving on, next. So this podcast called Canceled with Tana Mojo and Brooke, I think it's Schofield. I don't know. They sat down and had a real conversation, and it was about Matt Rife, how Brooke, the co-host of the show, was actually dating, however you want to say it, Matt Rife earlier in the year. And when Matt Rife came on their podcast about a month or so ago, before his big cancellation, he showed up to the studio and acted like he didn't know Brooke, even though like they were intimate together and went on dates, and she went to many of his shows on tour. And he acted like he didn't even know her. These are her words, not mine, which I thought was absolutely crazy. I'm not going to walk into a room with an ex of mine and act like I don't know them. if it ended badly or not. Like if it was like good terms, bad terms, okay terms, rocky terms. I'm not going to act like I don't know you. That it's incredibly rude. Absolutely incredibly rude. And that little instance is like, oh, so he's an asshole. Great, got it. I need no more evidence. And they were kind to him. They were nice to him. They weren't overly nice, but they were nice enough. And then Brooke told a story on how Matt Rife went on a podcast that no longer exists online, and how Matt Rife said while he was seeing Brooke, or like just recently after, that he prefers like blonde hair, fake boobs, you know, this and that and this and that, and a specific type of vagina. Yes. For some reason, he has gotten to the point of being able to categorize women that he likes and does not like by the specific physicality of their vagina. I can't make this up. I cannot make it up. And so that's bonkers and absolutely disappointing, as we are living in the modern world. And if you have that specific requirement to have a certain physicality to a vagina, you are not a good person. And you're broken inside, and I highly suggest seeing a therapist. And of course, when Brooke was talking, she made it very clear that she does not have that specific type. So having just been in a relationship with this person, and he's now going on a podcast for like 1 million people to see and watch and listen to, and he's saying, I like someone who was the complete opposite of the person that I was just with, is just, it's, but so why were you with that person originally? And then it came out that while Brooke was seeing him early in the year, he was also seeing many other women as well. And so it's just that typical, which is so annoying, that typical like fuckboy tendency of, oh, sorry, I'm really busy, you know, I don't really have any time, but you have the time to go see A, B, C, and D and schedule all of that in. So it was just that energy that just sealed the absolute fucking deal on Matt Rife being a total scumbag. And you know what? Live your life. Go tell your stupid jokes, your poorly written jokes. Go tell them to the people that want to hear them, because it's not me, and it's not a lot of people anymore. You lost us. You know what? You didn't even lose us. You pushed us away, and like, that's fine. That's fine. You can push us away, because like, after all of this, we didn't want to be there in the first place. So, anywho, that's the Matt Rife drama and update. And I think we should probably move on to talking about Andre Brower died. The Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Andre Brower died, and I am reeling a little bit. It actually hurts. I have such a deep love and appreciation for Brooklyn Nine-Nine just as a show, and I know Andre Brower did a lot of other things. He is Juilliard classically trained actor, fantastic. There was just something so special about Captain Holt. LOL, screw that guy. Hey David, what's going on? And finding out that he passed away so quickly from lung cancer, it came out, is absolutely so heartbreaking. And so I just wanted to let everyone know that if you didn't hear, Andre Brower died. And feel free to pop onto anyone who was close to him socials, and or even just let your voice be heard, that, you know, I don't know. There's just something so heartbreaking about this. He was so young. I think he was like 61. That's young. It's 2023. That's young. That 60 is like the new 40. Like, what are you saying? You know, it's so young, and it's so heartbreaking, and it was a massive loss to so many people. So that one hurt. That one really hurt. The last celebrity death, I don't even want to talk about it because it hurts too much. Anywho, let's talk about Amanda Bynes. You guys remember Amanda Bynes? She was on All That. It's All That. You remember All That? And then she had the Amanda Show. Amanda Show. We remember Amanda Bynes. So Amanda Bynes is back. She has had a very, very rough 2010 to now. Well, I'd say her whole life has been very rough. So let's talk about Amanda Bynes, because this is like, it makes me sad, but my heart gets happy again at the end. So Amanda Bynes was a child star. She was discovered by, God, what's his name? The Nickelodeon guy, Dan something, who was the problem, like the major problem with the Nickelodeon. He discovered Amanda when she was really, really young. He took her under his wing, brought her to Nickelodeon, and she blew up. She's a millennial icon. You know, there's no one in my age group that doesn't know Amanda Bynes and doesn't have some level of respect for her, for not just like taking us through the 90s, but entertaining us like along the way through as we aged as well, out of like the 90s era. Amanda Bynes was hilarious, I'm sure it still is absolutely hilarious. When she was young, she did start smoking marijuana. Dan Schneider, thank you. When she was young, she did start smoking marijuana. And I don't want to be like, see, it's a gateway drug. It's not a gateway drug. Her life and the trajectory of her life, and having to survive filming constantly and tutoring and getting an education and growing up and going through puberty and going through all of your life changes in front of so many people, in front of production studios full of humans and cameras, and still entertaining everyone around you, making everyone laugh constantly, is going to do something to your soul. It's going to do something to your soul. And unfortunately, we saw what happens negatively when someone has to live that life with Amanda Bynes. After Easy A, she was in Easy A, she got lost in the sauce. And she said a fire in someone's driveway. She was driving under the influence. She was getting pulled over. She was having car accidents. She was found roaming around naked. Many instances of Amanda sort of at a breaking point in her physical world. And it's absolutely heartbreaking. And it was extremely concerning as it was happening. And the only thing that I could think and like feel at the time was the similarity between how the paparazzi treated Amanda Bynes when she decided she wasn't acting anymore in 2010, 2011, and made it clear. She announced on Twitter, like, I'm retiring, and Britney Spears. We all remember the paparazzi hounding Britney Spears 24/7. She couldn't go anywhere. She couldn't get coffee. She couldn't go to the grocery store. She couldn't drive anywhere. She couldn't leave her house without being completely surrounded, inundated with light bulbs and cameras and grown men who should have better things to do than screaming at her. What's this? What are you doing? Are you on drugs? Are you high? What happened with this? Heartbreaking. And so this was happening to Amanda Bynes. Wherever she went, it was flashing light bulbs, cameras, paparazzi screaming at her because she was so big and she made such a hard stop on her career. She said she wasn't having fun anymore, and I believe that she wasn't having fun anymore. She didn't like it. She wanted to do something else, and unfortunately, in between her doing something else, she found drugs, Adderall, Molly, ecstasy. She found herself not liking her body when she was in an Easy A. She found herself seeing herself on camera and not liking what she saw, which is so hard. Because like I know, I'm not, I have a few eyeballs, but she knows that she had millions upon millions of eyeballs. And so when you don't like what you see, you can somehow believe that no one will like that. And it's hard. It was really sad. Every now and then you'd hear a new, oh, where's Amanda Bynes now? What's happening to her now? She's going in rehab. She's doing this, conservatorship, and now she's out of a conservatorship, and she has to do this therapy, and she's going to rehab. And it was really absolutely heartbreaking, because growing up watching Amanda Bynes, you get that connection with someone. It's like, you feel like since they had so much input on your life, you should be able to have a little bit on them as well. Like, how can we help? But we don't have a way of helping, which is really heartbreaking. And so I came across Amanda Bynes on the internet a little while ago, and I've been keeping up. I've been listening to her. There has been moments of rambling, and there's been moments of uncomfortability. There's been moments of like me really being concerned and worried about her mental state, and then there's moments where I'm like, oh, she's doing fantastic, and she's doing what she wants to do. She's on the right track. She's getting back on like her feet. She's feeling out her life. She's figuring out what she wants to do, and she deserves every opportunity of what she wants to do and be able to do it. She was forced her entire life to do what everyone else wanted to do to make money off of her, and now it's her time. And so now Amanda Bynes has a new podcast. It is called Amanda Bynes and something. Let me pull it up. She has a new podcast, and boo 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 doo boo boo. Amanda Bynes. So it's called Amanda Bynes and Paul Szymanski, the podcast. And I think if you want a real look at Amanda Bynes and how she's doing right now, I definitely would say watch it. It's just Amanda Bynes and Paul Szymanski, the podcast. Her first guest was a friend of hers named Dahlia Moth. Amanda Bynes has been really excited about this. She's talked about it a little bit on social media. She was really excited. I could see the joy in her face after it came out. I think it came out on Spotify first. And she was having other guests on that she may not know as well. This first one, it felt a little awkward, but it was a good awkward. It wasn't a bad awkward. So she's hosting it with Paul as well. Now, I personally did not get I love Paul vibe, and that's fine. That's not up to me. I could tell that Amanda was nervous. I could tell that there was a little anxiety. She didn't really move too much. I think she just needs to refine her comfortability in a whole different world on camera and being recorded in her own terms, in her own time, in the way that she wants. And I think she will absolutely thrive. And I'm like really, really excited for her. And that's just because, not just because I will get entertainment out of it, but that's just because I feel like we grew up together and she has been through some incredibly tough times. I could only imagine what her brain was trying to do to her in the past 10, 15 years. when it comes to, her health, her well-being, drugs, and all this stuff. And she's not shy to being real about her drug use and her drug abuse and her alcohol abuse and her, and all of that. She's not trying to hide it, but she's trying to highlight a different part of her life by starting Amanda Bynes and Paul Szymanski, the podcast, and not have her history be her future. She's always, there was a really fantastic clip. I think she was on like a late night show when she was really young. She was showing drawings, and she's always wanted to be a fashion designer, and she has been going to school and has gone to school to learn how to sew and design and create and sell. And so I feel like this is just the first step out of her, old world into her new world that will get her to the point of, in my opinion, being able to be the fashion designer that she wants to be. She had a little line, and I think it only had like one drop. It wasn't anything too big, but I don't know. It's just really heartbreaking what she's been through, and I'm really, really excited. Here, let me play the first like minute of it, so you guys can hear her voice, you can see her face. She looks different than she did 15 years ago, but don't we all? I don't know. There's just a completely different vibe now than just even the past 5 years, and I'm excited for her. I'm really excited. All right, so let's just play. I'll just play like a first like minute or two, and you guys can hear like how she's doing.
Hi everyone, welcome to Amanda Bynes and Paul Szymanski, the podcast. Today we are welcoming Dahlia Moth on our show.
Hello everybody. Hi, I am Paul, and welcome to our beautiful guest, Dahlia.
Hello. Hi.
Oh my god, we are doing fabulously. It is so good to have you here.
Thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you. So excited to be here.
Okay, awesome. Are you ready for the questions?
I think so.
Okay, great. Our first question.
You can hear her being nervous, like her voice being shaky. She doesn't really move. Her hands stay in pretty much this position the whole time because she has questions on her phone, which I think is absolutely adorable, because honestly, have some questions, especially if you're talking to your friend. You already know everything, but the people watching don't know. So have those baseline questions ready to go to help fill the viewers in on what they don't know, especially between two friends, because there's like no information there. I don't know you, I don't know them, I don't know you guys at all. So she's looking better. She looks like she's feeling better, which I love and I'm here for. She's definitely nervous. She doesn't really chime in too much. Paul really handles the majority of it. I am really excited to see the next episode, and I hope that she'll be able to kind of settle into it. The first half is very nervous, but they do get very comfortable in the last half. So I highly, highly suggest, if you are interested, to go check Amanda Bynes out in that new podcast. It just makes me happy to see her doing something that she wanted to do. Let's see what else. Oh, David Dobrik. Golly, David Dobrik's being sued by State Farm, right? Is it State Farm or Nationwide? I think it's State Farm. So David Dobrik is a scumbag. Why is it? It's like a scumbag theme to the episode. So scumbag of the day, Matt Rife, and also David Dobrik. David Dobrik is being sued. Also, Jeff is in this lawsuit as well. So, why is this person named Jeff and David Dobrik being sued? That's a fantastic question. Thank you so much for asking. David Dobrik was, last year, 2020, 2021, maybe. It was like still pandemic time, but it was David Dobrik took a break. He was a big YouTuber, massive YouTuber, probably like 1 to 2 million a month worth of YouTuber, and he kind of took a break during the pandemic. And him and his crew, the Vlog Squad, hate that, hate it. Wanted to do like a comeback video, and they wanted to go big. And so not him, but the Vlog Squad, all the little members were like, some of them were learning to skydive. So they had to do like all these skydiving hours. And then David rented an excavator, which, if you don't know, is basically a big fat crane, and the crane comes out of the center and like with a big so they had a rope at the end of an excavator. And David said, you know what? I'm going to rent this excavator. I'm going to, in one hand, have my camera, and in the other hand, be controlling this excavator. And so I think it would be really cool if we put a rope on it and we just swung people around. Mind you, this like 2-ton piece of equipment is sitting in the middle of a very shallow lake or pond. I can't show you the video because YouTube doesn't like it, and I don't like it, and Jeff doesn't like it. And it's a really horrifying video. I'm not going to show it to you. It is online. You can look it up, Jeff Wittick excavator. You can see it if you want it, but I don't think you need to. Just listen to my descriptive words. So the first person was Corinna Kampf, which maybe one day we'll talk about. Corinna, a young woman, is swinging on it, and she immediately gets uncomfortable and screams at David, stop. He lets her off. Hey, Ronnie. Oh my God, David Dobrik. Yeah, I know. I know. But I think you might like this one, Ronnie. So he's being sued by his insurance. And so he lets Corinna off. He slows it down, lets Corinna off. And he's like, Jeff, you're up. And Jeff says, okay, which makes me want to scream. And Jeff gets on this rope, and David says, oh, I'm gonna fucking gun it, right? So he's swinging Jeff. Mind you, David Dobrik does not know how to use, and is not properly trained, in my belief, allegedly, to use an excavator. Also, even if he is, he's using it improperly because he has his camera in one hand and is controlling the excavator with his other hand. And so Jeff's swinging around, like fast swinging, and you hear Jeff scream, and David just dead stop the excavator. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen anything happen when it comes to, I guess, inertia. Is it inertia? So if you swing something on like a loose string and then you stop and there's weight at the end, the weight comes to the center. And so that weight was Jeff Wittick, and the center was the arm of the excavator, and the contact was between the excavator and Jeff's skull. And this has resulted in Jeff needing many surgeries, and him losing almost all of his eyesight. He might eventually, I think he lost all of his eyesight. Does he have it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. He's had multiple different surgeries, reconstructive. They were worried about brain damage. He was upside down in the water. It was a whole horrific scene. They're out in the middle of nowhere. And of course, there is no safety personnel. There's no standby EMT on site. This is all just for shits and giggles. David and his camera, what could go wrong? Well, someone losing their eye, legitimately terrible, the awful things could go wrong. David said, so lawsuit, and they will just show the program, bang, gavel, right to jail. Oh, I wish there could. So Jeff might still be able to press actual criminal charges against David. I don't think he's going to, but there is, so this lawsuit, which is against David Dobrik's insurance, which he had an umbrella policy for. So he had like home insurance and like an umbrella policy through State Farm. They said, okay, like here's some money for this. Wait a minute. This is workman's comp, or workers' comp, I guess you could say, because it's not women work, women work, women in STEM. So workman's comp should be covering this. So David and Jeff, since the money went to Jeff's medical bills, essentially, initially, not all of his medical bills, not all of the surgeries, and not all of the stuff has been covered at all, but some of it, a little bit, early on, a little bit of money, which to the insurance company is big enough to sue David for, but not enough to actually cover all of the financial needs of Jeff during his requirements of, getting back to some sort of normalcy with his skull. And so State Farm was like, hey, David, I'm David. Can we have our money back? Because that's kind of fraudulent. Like you should have, not even, like, we don't cover that. So since that was an employee and you were working, that's workers' comp. Like that's workman's compensation. That's not under your umbrella policy. Like we don't cover that. That's even better. I know, right? So I thought, like, I was like, wait a minute. So if they don't cover this, and they say, like, well, it should have been, like, workman's compensation or whatever, was Jeff being paid? And all the Vlog Squad being paid? Were they employees? Because if so, where's all, like, the statements? Like, where's all the taxes, like, the tax information, the employment taxes, and all of that stuff that an employer has to file? And if they were, it would be covered, well, it may or may not be covered by whatever business insurance that David Dobrik would have, having all of these employees doing all of these crazy things. And I could almost say that pretty much any insurance company would say, no, we're not going to cover you because you do things like running motorcycles into pools and smashing people's skulls open and all that stuff. And so we're not going to cover you, unregistered, an unlicensed driver of an excavator who almost murdered your friend. Like, I feel like even then, even if he did have like the proper insurance, it'd be like, no, you didn't even have like safety personnel on site. Like, what? You got to take some liability here, bro. Now, this is not the only lawsuit when it comes to this incident, because Jeff Wittig is also suing David Dobrik civilly because, like, where's my money, bro? Because, like, where's my money, bro? I don't have too much information on that lawsuit. It's in like sort of the beginning stages of it, kind of, and I'm not going to spend money to get any sort of information on it, like legal papers or anything. So when that happens, which I think it will be going to court sooner rather than later, and by like going to court, be like maybe next year rather than 2 years from now, I will definitely be paying all of the attention to it, because I think this is a really big deal and it's absolutely important. So let's compare David Dobrik wanting to film a comeback video with an excavator in a shallow lake and almost murdering your friend as a, 25-year-old, let's say, compared to a 25-year-old Jimmy, also Mr. Beast, running an entire Squid Game. There's safety personnel there, there's contracts and insurance and all of that, and also no one dies almost, like no one loses consciousness, no one is missing limbs or needs that. I mean, maybe someone's needed surgery. I haven't seen all of his videos, but good Lord, the amount of videos that resulted in like blood and slices and broken bones and injury from David Dobrik is absolutely bonkers. So I don't think any insurance would be like, okay, like maybe here's like some homeowners insurance, but like anything more than that, we are not your guy. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So I thought that was necessary to talk about. Oh, I'm like, I just get so into it. This whole David Dobrik thing and the excavator is absolutely disgusting to me. I don't know. It's the delusion. It's the delusion of it all. It's the delusional belief that you can sit in an excavator, one of the most already dangerous, like, large construction equipment things that you can use, and think, I got it with one hand. And you have to think about, like, what is the company that allowed this random 24-year-old or whatever to rent an excavator? Who gave him the fucking keys? You know, why was it even obtained? Why was it even usable? I'd understand if they're like, oh my god, we found this really cool lake and there's this random excavator there, and they're like sitting on it and they're like playing with it, but it's not working. That's okay. Don't touch it. But like I'm really like, oh my god, don't touch it. But like, oh my god, let's take a picture. You're running it and you tied a string to it and you're swinging your friends around. Why? Why? It's the delusion. It's the Delulu world that he lives in, where everything will be fine, and if someone gets hurt, oh well. Whoopsies. Whoopsie doodles. They're just the vlog squad. They're all replaceable. Gag. Okay, so we talked about Matt Rife. I remember that old viral video. Like years ago? It was a swing or something. And now they try to reproduce this stupid stunt. Oh my god. I remember years ago, early on in the David Dobrik career, where he made mention that he caused another one of his friends to, I believe, also lose eyesight in one of their eyes, which is very, very interesting. I think it was like an injury that was caused when they were like kind of playing rough or something together. And I think it led to sort of like a meningitis situation, maybe. Or was that, there's a lot of instances where David Dobrik's friends get injured. Maybe we'll do a deep dive into the injuries of David Dobrik next year. Next year we'll do a deep dive into it, because I'm not going to be here next Friday, but the Friday before New Year's I'll be back. So jail time. Jail time, straight to jail. Let's talk about Rudy Giuliani. We got to talk about Rudy Giuliani. Okay, remember, stop the steal. They're stealing it. Remember the whole January 6th, like lots of jail. Remember the whole January 6th of it all? We remember. We were there. We have the internet. So Rudy Giuliani is a scumbag day. Happy Friday. Welcome to where I talk about scumbags. So Rudy Giuliani was a scumbag and helped ruin the lives of two election employees helping at voting stations, and spread rumors and lies about how they helped steal the vote. Rudy Redster. Oh, Rudy. How they helped steal the vote referred to them passing a USB stick like crack, just so happened to be talking about black human beings. Terrible. And really ruined these humans' lives. I'm not gonna put more information out on them just because they've been through enough, and they wish people would forget their names instead of remember their names. But it just was ruled and justice came out that Rudy Giuliani needs to pay them a shit ton of money. And when I say a shit ton of money, I'm talking about almost $150 million for defaming these random citizens doing citizen things, helping out with an election, because you need to have humans run the polls, even though they are computers, and really fantastic, beautiful humans help run the polls. My mom does sometimes, and she has a really great time. She gets to see everyone from the neighborhoods and everything. Hi, oh my god, hi, how are you? Yeah, go vote, yay, all that stuff. Good humans like to help out running the polls. I don't think they get paid. Most of them are volunteers. And Rudy Giuliani said, you know what, I'm going to ruin these people's lives because they're stealing it. And so now he has to pay them. Just ruled today, just came out. And then he's got to give them a lot of money because he defamed them and ruined their lives. Like, they were unable to leave the house. They feared every moment because we all have seen in the past year, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, the extreme lengths that random crazies will go to when it comes to their politics, air quotes of politics, because it's just racism. Like, it's just an ism at this point. It's not politics anymore. It's just an ism. And so there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of anxiety. There was a lot of fear mongering from the Rudy Giuliani's of it all. So congratulations, Rudy. You found it. You got it. I don't know if they will get any of the money. I don't know if Rudy has any money because there's speculation that he ain't got shit. But I think it's at this point, it's the principle of the thing. It's not going to solve all of their problems. Even if they get $1 from him, it's not going to solve any of the problems because this shit lingers. But some judicial justice feels good. I hope it helps. I hope it solves the problems. I don't know how much good it will do, but it should in essence, it should do all the good. But I have my fingers crossed for these women. Straight to jail. Rudy, straight to jail. Good God. Go to jail, Rudy. Go to jail. So I don't want to even get into the completionist stuff. That's just, it's like, oh, there was this story that I did want to talk about. God, do we end on a sad note for 2 weeks? No. Oh, his little face. So there was an 11-year-old who was shot, injured by police officers in his own home when he was the one who called the police for assistance. And and a grand jury said that no, we're not. You don't. There's no fault here. The family of this young boy. Oh my God. It is so heartbreaking. This family of this young boy is going to continue forward with a lawsuit against this police officer. Maybe I'll talk about it before New Year's a little deeper. I just don't want to end on a really tough note. He's so cute. Oh, he's such a good little guy. Oh my gosh. We'll talk about it the Friday before New Year's. I want to end on something good, something fun, something cat. What should we end on? Oh. Okay. I have it here. Let's end on something fantastic. The 9-month cruise. I have like 5 minutes. Let's talk about this Royal Caribbean 9-month cruise. It's happening. People are on board. Could you imagine? Okay, so let's just say Royal Caribbean is doing a 9-month cruise. We talked about the 3-year cruise that is not happening. It was a scam galore. Royal Caribbean, not a scam. It's actually happening. You would be shocked, gooped, and gagged to see the prices for this 9-month cruise. Now, all of the prices, if you get a room, everyone gets a free drinks package, which is alcohol. And I could only imagine what is going to happen and what could happen and the drama that may ensue and is definitely going to ensue with 700 people on a boat for 9 months. Not everyone's going to be there for 9 months. There's different stages. There's like 4 different stages. You can be there for all 9. You can be there for 1. You could be there for 2. It's up to you. For 9 months, everyone is constantly drunk and just like carved out on all cruise food. Eating cruise food, yeah, they're going to be going off into seeing like a bunch of different countries and all that stuff, but like the majority of food that you're going to be eating is on a cruise. like almost a year being away. People sold their homes, and it was like, I'll just get a little apartment when I get back, or maybe I'll get off the ship and fall in love with another country. People like gave up their leases on their apartments because they're going to be away for 9 months, because you're not going to pay for an apartment and also pay for an apartment on a ship because the prices are astronomical. 9 months on a boat. 9 months on a boat, straight to jail, because that's where I would be going if I was on a boat for 9 months, had limitless, bottomless liquor. I'm sorry, what? Bottomless liquor, and also all the food that I'm going to eat, and like 700 people to just engage with. That is absolutely crazy. I would hate it. It would be awful. It'd be terrible. I would hate every minute of it. But I would definitely have a drinking problem by the end of it, for sure. So I am going to be keeping up with the 9-month cruise on TikTok, because there's a bunch of people that are sharing their experience on TikTok, and they're so cute. There's like one couple that was like, oh, we got like a pin today, yay. And then there was another couple who was like, check out our suite, and it's like a 2-story suite, and they're like close it, like clicking buttons to like close the blinds. So there's all different all the humans. I feel like this is a social experiment that people paid a shit ton of money for, because I'm going to be watching every day. I will be opening my TikTok looking for all of the 9-month cruise drama tea, so I will fill you guys in with it all, don't worry. Well, that's my time, folks. That's my time. It's 6:00. I needed this. I needed to talk to the internet for a little bit today. That makes me feel so much better. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you are new here, definitely subscribe. I'm here every Friday at 5 p.m. We have some other content as well that comes out if you like wrestling, called WWB, Wrestling with the Business. That happens over here as well. Check out Insane. Oh, I wanted to talk about the Twitch changes. Oh, anywho, you're probably going to be seeing a lot more boobs on Twitch. Whatever. Twitch, Insane Games TV _ on Twitch. You can follow us on Instagram as well. All the information, you guys, you're on YouTube, you know how the internet works, so do all those things. And I will see you guys not next Friday, but the Friday before New Year's, because I'll be at work. Please send me all of the foot rub vibes, because I will need at least 3 foot rubs by the new year. Between now and the new year, I'm gonna need at least a solid hour of foot massages. You probably don't need foot massages being on a cruise for 9 months, because you're just relaxing. Anywho, that's it. I will see you guys in 2 Fridays. I'll miss you guys between then. Hopefully my apartment gets done. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And I hope you guys have a fantastic holiday if you celebrate Christmas. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, I just hope you have a fantastic 2 weeks. That's it. Foot massage and gel, though. Foot massage and gel, I mean, look, a foot massage is a foot massage. That's all I'm saying. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for being here. Bye. I found the button. Okay, bye.